Live. How are we, lads? ProEnzo, Vidz, CJ MOXLEY. Alright, we're just walking in now for the King Dragons when the Bulldogs come back. The atmosphere! The crowd is electric! Breakdown podcast. I hope you guys are all doing well for your Wednesday night, April 12th, 2023. As always, I'm joined by ProEnzo, Vidz, and special guest out of absolute nowhere tonight. We've got Warriors NRL fanatics. We'll start with you first, ProEnzo. Vidz, how are you, my friend? It's good to have you on once again.
Yeah, bro, no, I'm going well. Look, it's going to be a big week of footy ahead, I'm sure, again. And look, it's going to be a good podcast tonight. Good to have fanatics on, and it's a shame about CJ not being available. But nonetheless, let's bring it on.
Yeah, and we've got Warriors NRL fanatics here tonight. Fanatics, how you going, bro? It's good to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, it's actually great to be on the podcast tonight. Actually, just bit of a late minute appearance, but yeah, it's great to be on.
Late inclusion to the team list.
Yeah, very late inclusion to the 17, staying 17. So yeah, it's actually good to be on the podcast. It's been a while since it's been on, so yeah, looking forward to the podcast tonight. Can't wait for it.
You know, funny enough, we were before we came on the air tonight, I got a phone call from a mate of mine. He works in the HR, which is basically the head office of the people at the Breakdown podcast. And only one person in there by the name of Greg knows who's actually on the show tonight. So I don't think HR are going to be very happy that we haven't advertised them about who's on the podcast tonight. So hopefully Barbara and that understand, because me and Lorenzo might cop some backlash from that.
Fuck, if we do, bro, we're going to make a note or something. We're going to make a good speech.
Oh, it's HR. Oh, here we go.
As we were talking about them, jeez.
I'll speak on that one. Hello, this is Nick from Australia speaking. How you going, Barbara? Oh, boys, it's Barbara, the boss.
Barbara.
No. So before you go off your rocket about the Instagram post, no, we've been trying all day to get this podcast sorted. We've had issues. As you're aware of, you stupid idiot, CJ MOXLEY has a Category 2 HIA. He's unavailable to be on the podcast due to a concussion. He failed. He's out. We need someone to replace him. We've contacted people all day. They have been unavailable themselves. I reached out to All Out Champa today. All Out Champa was unavailable. I even messaged other people and they wouldn't reply back. So last minute, we got Warriors fanatics to jump on the show. Yeah. No. Hey, listen, Barbara, you watch your fucking tone. You know who I am? I'm fucking Nick from Australia, mate. You shut your mouth, Barbara, and you start.
Oh, shit.
No, I don't care what Philip said. I don't care what fucking Karen and Jackson said. It don't matter, mate. No. Listen, I'm in charge of the show. I will fire you cunts tonight if you don't stop. Fuck the Instagram post. Shut your mouth. Enjoy the show. Yeah. What'd you call me? A fatso? Yeah. How about you go to a nightclub and do some pole dancing right in front of your ex-husband, you stupid cunt? Yeah. How about that? Yeah. All right. Go fuck yourself, Barbara. See ya. Fucking hell, Barbara's a bitch.
That was some sort of phone call, eh? Jesus.
Mate, if I put you on the phone to Barbara, it won't end well. I wouldn't be surprised if you're next.
Oh, bro, it'd be like fireworks if I'm to be honest.
Anyway, hopefully we don't get any more phone calls from Barbara tonight. But hello to the live chat as well. We've got a nice crowd building up here now for the Breakdown podcast, episode number 82. We're getting closer and closer to episode 100. We've got SS Storm fan. We've got Head Against PlayStation here. We've got Damien from Newcastle. Josh Rabbitoh's 23. We've got Aaron. We've got Let's Go Bulldogs. Minty Rabbitoh. Daniel Bate all the way from the UK. Faraz. Hello. Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Jason Reader. Oh, my God. The chat's going off. Cody Against PlayStation. I believe it just hit 800 subscribers.
Yeah,
Played
he
against
did.
both. So shout out to him as well.
Great
And my
shot.
computer's playing games, so I can't get all the way to the top now. It's playing up. We've got Hainsey in the chat. We've got Flash Green, Jeffrey, Rishi. Hello, William Pearson. Hello, everybody. My computer's playing games, so we won't get into it. But yeah, hopefully no more phone calls from Barbara, boys.
Yeah, she sounds like some sort of hard one to deal with. So let's move on.
Mate, she's like a fucking upside down octopus, the stupid bitch. Hopefully we don't hear it from her again.
Yeah, just the
Damien from Newcastle. I'm watching the show while that's my birthday. Is it your birthday today, Damo? Is
I think it is. Yeah.
Shout out to Damien from Newcastle. I honestly had no idea. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've got royalty in the chat. The king.
Ah, yes.
The king.
You know what? I'll put up on the screen. Look at this.
Immortality
The king
at its
is here.
finest. Immortality.
Hello, my brotherhood. Hello to the king. A very, very loyal person. All right, let's get into the topic, boys. Let's get into the topic, shall we? Topic number 5, and we're going to start with a bang. On the weekend, the Broncos versus the Raiders game, very, very controversial. The Broncos, were they robbed against the Raiders? Now, what I mean by that, if you remember, I think there was about 2 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. The Broncos put up a kick. Tapau come flying through, trying to go for the ball. Accidentally hit Jordan Rapana right in the head. Rapana knocked it on, blood going everywhere. They picked it up and scored, and then obviously they went back and said, no, it's not a try. It was very controversial. I don't really know what Martin Tapau is supposed to do in that situation, fellas, but so viewing this one, Fanatics, mate, were the Broncos robbed? Because it definitely changed the momentum of the game. The Broncos were coming to get them.
Look, to be honest, I didn't really see the controversial call, so really hard to give my say on this one. But were they robbed? I probably I didn't really see the tackle, to be honest. So I can't really comment on that one.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it, bro. I mean,
I didn't see it. No, I haven't seen it yet, though. I probably will see it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh. Well, ProEnzo, Vidz, we all know that you've seen it, my friend, and it was a very controversial decision. What's your take on it, bro? Were the Broncos robbed? Because you got to remember that it would have been a try. They should have scored. I don't know what the hell was going on. But what do you reckon?
Well, look, from memory, the Broncos were behind the Raiders for most of the game, so it was like Canberra were leading throughout the whole game. And I don't believe Broncos were in front at least once during the game. So that's a reason why to believe that they weren't robbed, because Raiders were leading the whole time there. But as for that, that Tapau knee to the head on Rapana, that was clearly an accident. Like, that was definitely not on purpose. There wasn't much that Tapau could have done there, and people saying that it was not a penalty and Broncos were robbed off the back of that call is stupid, in my opinion. I think, seeing a guy have his head half split open and you're saying that that's a bad call because he has to go off in a stretcher, and, saying that one call changed the whole game. Well, no, you're wrong, because that's obviously serious and you have to go off in a stretcher. So for any player to go off in that situation is obviously not a good thing. So the Broncos are not wrong.
Me and you are going to have a massive disagreement here, ProEnzo Vidz. I believe they were robbed. And look, if people are new to this channel and they don't know who I am, listen, I'm a Cowboys supporter. I hate the Broncos. I hope nothing but the worst for them. I couldn't give a single shit about the Broncos. But a decision like that, where there was 2 or 3 minutes to go, Rapana, unfortunately, has his head split open in a terrible situation, and I hope Rapana's okay. He obviously won't play probably for a couple of weeks now and all that because of that, and we all wish him all the best. But you take the blood situation out of it, I cannot believe Martin Tapau was penalised for it. The NRL and the referees, they are so scared about blood. They're scared about concussions. They haven't got the balls to make the right call. Now, because they're so hard right now on the crackdowns or the HIA, I thought it was ridiculous that it was a penalty. The Broncos should have scored. It should have been 20-all. It should have been golden point. There is no way on this planet that Martin Tapau should have been penalised. Yes, I understand Rapana was bleeding. Yes, I understand it looked bad. But it's not a penalty. And people are going to say, oh, but it's high contact. Since when did an accidental knee to the head become a penalty? That's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's not a penalty. There is absolutely nothing wrong with what Martin Tapau did. He was going for the ball. What's he meant to do? What, fall over and miss somebody and potentially do an ACL or roll his ankle or do a calf? I don't understand what he's meant to do. I know the blood's bad, and look, I feel for him, but it should not have been a penalty. The Broncos, I can live with the no try, but the Broncos should have had a whole set, 10 metres out with 2 minutes to go, an opportunity to at least level up. So they were denied that chance, and if Broncos fans are going to say they're robbed, I think they genuinely have a case.
Oh, look, see, the game is going to... If the game's going to be...
The what?
Oh, your connection cut out there, bro. But as I was trying to say, look, the game's going to be consistent now with all these dangerous head-high contacts and whatever. Like, so I wasn't shocked that it was given a penalty in either way, because that's how the game wants to operate now around that sort of area. But yeah, look, obviously that's tough for Tapau, but we're going to move on now. And I think with the Raiders and how they play, they deserve the win. They obviously wanted it more, so I can't say that.
Do you reckon that was dangerous, what Tapau did?
Well, it wasn't a good look. I mean, like I said, not much that Tapau could do, but if the game's been consistent now of all these, dangerous tackles to the head and whatever, and all these injuries towards that area, well, that's what's going to happen, I think.
I don't think that was the right call. And if that was a finals game, I think we would. I think if that was a finals game, we would be hearing a lot more about this.
I don't know. The game's that's how the game wants to be now, I guess. So
if that's how they want to be, then we're going down a dangerous path. Like, that's pretty solid. I know the blood's bad. I get it. I know the contact wasn't pretty, but you can't penalise someone for going for the ball and they accidentally hit them in the head and they start bleeding everywhere. We're going to start giving penalties for accidents like that. I mean, we're going to go down a very dangerous path here. We're going to get real soft. I can't believe it was a penalty. Fanatics, bro, like, should it have been a penalty? Obviously, you haven't seen it, like you said, but, bro, if someone's going for the ball and they accidentally hit their knee on the player's head and it's an accident, should it be a penalty?
Look, if it's an accident, then I personally don't think it should be. But because it's the way it's judged now in the NRL is they'll penalise it anyway. So yeah, I think that's just the way it is. You got to be consistent, and if other incidents are judged the same, then you have to judge that incident the same too. So that's what I think personally.
And boys, look, the difference is if it was an arm tackle, like a swinging arm, then yeah, you can pull out. But when it comes to a knee, you're running for the ball like this, you're trying to get it, your knee hits a player in the head, you can't help it. You can't help it. But if it's a swinging arm situation like that, yeah, penalty. But oh my God, I honestly can't believe it was a penalty the other night. I'm still surprised that it was given.
Yeah, either way, it was a tough call, and I think Raiders were a bit too good, so yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was controversial. Broncos have got a fair reason to be angry, so hopefully the NRL get it right. And if you guys listen to what Gus Gill said about all this the other day, and I think Andrew Johns even said it was ridiculous that it was a penalty. I think Paul Gallen might have said the same thing. So you've got some greats and legends saying that. So
that's their opinion, I guess.
It's very controversial. Let's move on to topic number 4 now, fellas. And we're going to go straight to the Bulldogs. And the injuries continue at the Bulldogs, don't they, fellas? I mean, Addo Carr's going to be out for 8 to 10 weeks, and I think kick-out is looking at 8 to 9 weeks, 10 weeks, with a Toys Peck today, I think it was kick-out. So they've lost Ado Carr and kick-out for about 2 months. Not looking good for the Bulldogs with their injuries, Lorenzo. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely hurting the club. I think I know they get RFM and they get Pango Jr. back this week, which is good for the club. But the constant players that they're losing every week is going to hurt them eventually. And I think losing Kikau again, for another 2 months, and could be even more if surgery has to happen. So it's not good. It's not good for the Bulldogs. I know they've got some players that can come in and do a job, but I think losing one of your best players and kick out Ado Carr for a long period of time as well, it doesn't help them, does it? So it's some big blows for them.
Oh, it's a massive loss for the Bulldogs, especially losing Ado Carr, who's a real character on the field for the Bulldogs and off the field. Losing him for 8 to 9 weeks is big. And Kickout's the enforcer there. He's still finding his feet at the Bulldogs, but he was starting to get in a bit of form. And now this has really set him back. So a couple of big losses there for the Bulldogs. Fanatics, what's your take on the Bulldogs' injuries? Obviously, they get a few back this week through Pangai and the captain for Tyler Mariner, but they're still without Luke Thompson as well and a few others. The Bulldogs' depth will be tested, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, their squad depth at the moment, it's been tested quite a lot, and the injuries aren't really helping them as well, and results on the field, which will probably affect them as well. So, yeah, like you said, they do welcome some players back this week, but Josh Addo-Carr, I think, is a big loss for the Bulldogs because he's one of their key players, and we know how good of a player Addo-Carr is, and it's also, I don't know whether he'll be back before Origin. I don't know if he'll be back in time for Origin but yeah, it is a bit of a worry, the injuries at the Bulldogs at the moment.
Yeah, look, I'm actually a little bit worried about the Bulldogs' injuries. Braden Burns is in this week. I think he's playing on the wing.
Yeah,
Burns is not a winger, so maybe they can try and swap that around. Maybe put Averillo on the wing because, I mean, Averillo's been playing well in the centres, but Burns is not really a winger, so it'll be very interesting to see how they go there. And boys, I guess the other question I want to ask you about the Bulldogs' injuries is, how is this going to affect the playing style of Matt Burton? Kickout's not there now. He's back rower. They've lost Ado Carr on that left side. Obviously, Jacob Preston's doing a terrific job, but is this going to affect Matt Burton's game big time? Because there's talk about him playing Origin for New South Wales. Is this going to affect his chances for Origin?
I don't think so, actually. I wouldn't think so. I mean, yeah, you can say we got Kikau and Ado Carr on that left-hand side. It's going to hurt them, but I still think Burton's good enough as a player himself to do most of the work. So I think he'll be all right, I reckon.
What do you reckon, Fanatics?
There'll be definitely a lot of pressure on Burton. I think there'll be a bit more pressure on him without those players like Kikau and Ado Carr, because he'll have to do a lot more in the game. And obviously, you've still got Reid Marnie there, so Reid Marnie's still there, their hooker, which does help a bit more. But I don't think it will affect his chances. No, I think he'll still be one of those players in contention for State of Origin selection for New South Wales.
Tell you what, this is going to be a big 2 months for the head coach there, Cameron Ciraldo. He's obviously a rookie coach, and with all the injuries the Bulldogs have at the moment, their depth will be tested. So I'm intrigued to see how the Bulldogs go over the next 8 weeks without Ado Carr and without William McKickau. But I did read somewhere today, Luke Thompson's only about 4, maybe 5 weeks away. So Thompson could be back by Magic Round potentially. So they're going to need some players to come back soon, because the more injuries they have, the worse off it is for the Dogs. So we'll see how it all goes down there at Belmore. Topic number 3. This is one close to my heart, fellas. My God, where do I even begin with this? What is wrong with the Cowboys? Goodness me. I have been very disappointed with what's been going on with the Cowboys. Obviously, I'm a Cowboys supporter through and through. I expected us to be in the top 4 this season. A lot of teams have been coming for us, which is expected and understandable. But geez, we look so flat at the moment. It's a slow start to the year, and look, I'm not going to sit here tonight and tell everyone that our season's over. There's still a long way to go. We're 2 wins and 4 losses. There's a few things going on at the Cowboys at the moment, but ProEnzo, what is wrong with the Cowboys' slow start to the season?
Well, look, bro, I can't lie. I won't say that I wasn't expecting it to happen, but I think what some of the issues I think for the Cowboys is that, maybe some players are just like, got a bit fatigued at the end of last year from World Cup, and maybe just from, I guess, how well they had, how well some players went individually last season, and maybe just some couldn't back it up the next year sort of thing. Look, there's still time for them to really get their winning ways again and find some good form and stuff like that. But I think with them, it's just about playing what's best, because from what I've noticed in that Dolphins game, they seem to want to score every set, single time they have the ball. It's just you don't do that. I think you need to really just play how they used to, with good structure and kind of do what they were comfortable at last year. But yeah, they seem a bit more frantic with the ball, and I don't know why. So look, it's not over, but they'll have to fix it fast.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What about you, Fanatics, bro? I mean, I'm sure you've seen a few Cowboys games this year, and you must be disappointed with what's going on with the Cowboys. We've started like shit.
Yeah, I actually have. I watched all the Cowboys games so far this year, and look, I think coming to this season, a lot of people expected them to be in the top 4, continuing for the top 4, or at least the premiership. And I believe one of the experts actually tipped them for the grand final. So, I was actually one of those persons that actually thought the Cowboys would be in the top 8 this year. But look, it's only a couple of rounds in. It's only early days, and it's a long season. And I think some of their players may be a little bit complacent from last year. I think there may be some complacency that's crept into their game a bit, and obviously they've had a lot of players go to the World Cup as well, which has sort of not helped them in a way. But in saying that, I think the Cowboys, I think they'll still be up there. I think they'll still definitely be a contender for the top 8. I'm not really writing them off yet. They can come out this week and beat my Warriors, and maybe get a couple wins in a row, and they might be back on track. But yeah, I'm not writing them off just yet.
Yeah, look, a couple of things that I've noticed with the Cowboys. Obviously, they're my team. A bit like ProEnzo said, they keep trying to score tries on tackle 1, tackle 2. I think at the moment it's just a lack of caring with the footy. I think it's a lack of patience with the football. They don't want to, get in there and get repeat sets, and there's just a couple of little things in the game that's not working. Obviously, edge defense, winger wise, Felt's been struggling all year, although the other night, or the last 2 weeks, I should say, Felt's been pretty good. Who else? Last week, don't even start me on Brendan Elliott. That was dreadful. But, a couple of positives. Obviously, we get a few back this week. We get our whole back line back. We get our whole spine together, our 4-pack. It's almost full strength. We've still got a few back rows out. McLean's still not there, but starting to get our full team back together, which is a good thing. Bit slow out of the gates. Obviously, we had a favourable draw to start the year, but that hasn't really gone the way it would have liked. Look, this might sound a bit crazy, and some people might laugh at me when I say this, but this is just my opinion. When the Cowboys do get full strength, there's no reason why they can't be a contender and potentially win the whole thing. They have a side where they have a lot of quality. They have a lot of origin players. They have a lot of rep players. If they can get it together very soon, which I think we have to this weekend against the Warriors and then Newcastle next week, if we can win those 2, go 4-4, we're back on track. So, look, I don't think it's season over by any means. I still think top 8's a big chance. Top 4, I probably would write off top 4 for now, but top 8, I think, big chance. But just a lot of little dumb fundamental errors. I think we'll be okay. I'll tell you what. One player that I think has stood out for us is Tom Dearden. I think he's been fantastic just about every week. I don't think he's had a bad game, to be fair. But look, a bit like what you said, the World Cup took a lot out of the Cowboys. They had a lot of players go over there, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing this second-year syndrome bullshit. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that crap.
I don't know, bro.
I don't believe in second-year syndrome. Just because you make the finals one year, it doesn't mean you're an absolute moral for the next year. It doesn't make you a one-year wonder. It's just ridiculous. Last week we looked a lot better in attack, but we're not playing 80 minutes at the moment. We're playing half a game that's good, and then maybe a little good 10-minute period from there. But look, I'm not concerned. I'm a little bit concerned with defense and a few other things, but injuries haven't helped. I think we'll be okay. But I'll tell you what, if I see Brendan Elliott get named in that side again, I am going to lose my mind, because he might be the worst winger I've ever seen. He was horrible last week.
Well, he's often a good player. Like, I thought that anyway, but
he's good game.
But yeah, he just, I don't know. Last week was probably his worst ever game, I reckon.
Easily. But you think Tamalolo needs to play more minutes, bro? Because he seems to be playing less minutes at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know why Payton is playing with his minutes for. Like, he should just be on there for as much as he can, because I think when he's on, the rest of the team follows. So I don't know. They should play him a lot more.
He should be playing at least 60 minutes a game.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
55 to 60 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Anyway, would you write the Cowboys off yet or not yet?
No, way too early. It's only round 6. No, it's round 7 now. Way too early.
Yeah. I mean, if they win this week and they win next week, they're 4-4 again, and I think they're back in the 8 if that happens. So, not over. The only team I would write off right now is probably the West Tigers.
Yeah, I think everyone should.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, boys. So let's move on to topic number 2 now, and this situation is getting worse at the Dragons. Ben Hunt could leave the Dragons if Anthony Griffin is sacked. I did watch an interview, and Ben Hunt could leave if they do sack Griffin. Ben Hunt's been very protective of Anthony Griffin, and I don't blame him. This whole Dragons media talk lately has been unfair. It's been ridiculous. I mean, they just smashed the Dolphins the other week at Wynn Stadium that we were at, Lorenzo. Me, you, and CJ were there. And we were very impressed by what we saw from the Dragons. And then obviously last week they were beaten by the Titans with about 2 or 3 minutes to go. They were unlucky not to win that. I think it's ridiculous that the media are having another episode with the Dragons. And they're talking about, maybe sacking Griffin again. Should they sack him? Because it doesn't seem like it's Griffin's fault, but it seems like the media have like a personal agenda against Anthony Griffin.
Yeah. Look, I think it's first and necessary that the media's coming in and making more headlines about Griffin. Now, look, I don't believe Griffin is the right coach for me going forward, in my opinion. But I think at the moment, got to let him coach. Like, let him do his job. I don't know why the media wants to intervene with his way of coaching the Dragons and his situation there, because obviously it's causing unrest with the players, and some of the players are not sure about who's going to coach next year and stuff, which is not good to be thinking about at this time of the year. So they've got to let Griffin coach before you make that big call. But I think the Dragons are going to make a final decision on where he will be and who's their coach for next year.
Yeah. What do you think for that next? Obviously, the media are very consistent at the moment in bagging Anthony Griffin, and seems to be like a personal vendetta against him at the moment. What's your take on this whole Ben Hunt might walk out if Anthony Griffin gets sacked?
Look, I think it's the Dragons aren't really going that badly at the moment. I mean, You know, they just lost to the Titans previous week, and they beat the Dolphins as well. I know they've been a little bit up and down the season so far, but to have this sort of talk right now, I think is pretty ridiculous. Actually, I think the media are just making it a bit of a big deal. So, yeah, I don't think this should be the timing of this right now. It's probably not right. You know, the Dragons. I don't think the Dragons have been terrible at all. I mean, do I rate Griffin as a coach? Look, not really, to be honest. I don't rate him. I personally think he won't be the coach next year. But I don't know if the timing right now is right to be like making this sort of statement. Like, I think the Dragons aren't doing too bad, and I mean Ben Hunt leaving, I wouldn't blame him if it does happen.
Look, I think it's ridiculous what's going on at the Dragons. I also heard Ben Hunt say today that he doesn't want to be coached by any more coaches. He's happy with Griffin, and he's obviously very strong in keeping Anthony Griffin at the club. And here's the thing, right? If you're the Dragons board, and if you're the Dragons behind, you know, working out who's going to be who's the CEO, all this sort of stuff, working in behind the scenes, and your captain, Ben Hunt, is saying to you, we should keep Griffin. He's doing a good enough job with the roster that we have. Ben Hunt's very passionate in saying that, you know, he doesn't want to be coached by anyone else. He's happy. Things are looking all right for the Dragons. They're not going terrible. They're not going great, but they're pretty hot and cold. If they remove Griffin, Hunt's made threats where he'll walk. He's had enough. Your best player saying that, I'd be listening to your best player, but in saying that, one player doesn't make one club great. But in saying that, guys, if Ben Hunt wasn't playing with the Dragons, they would dead set be where the Tigers are. That'd be witnessed. So,
well, he's their best player. So
he's the best player. He plays for Queensland every single season. You've got to be smart here. You've got to back your captain here. Listen to your captain. Your captain's the one that's at training every day. He's the one leading the team around. And if he's saying that Griffin's doing a good enough job to stay, you keep the coach there. You leave him on. You don't look for another coach. And I know they're talking about maybe getting in Des Hasler or maybe Ben Hornby or whoever the candidates are at the moment. But you're gonna make your captain very unhappy, and you're gonna lose your captain. Ben Hunt will go. And if he goes, the Dragons are going to go from a team that's competitive every week to a team that's going to be right down there with the West Tigers.
Yeah. Look, it's I don't know. If I was Dragons at this point in time, I'd listen to Ben Hunt just to not maybe just at best like keep negotiations with Griffin and his future towards the end of the year. But as of right now, focus on footy and get some wins.
I'll tell you what they should do. They should go up to Ben Hunt and say, I'll tell you what, Griffin will be released at the end of the season, but we'll get a brand new coach. You're open to negotiate.
It's a big call. It's a big one.
Ben Hunt should just leave. I'm telling you. I love Ben Hunt. I think he's been great for the Dragons ever since he's gone there. But if I'm Ben Hunt and this whole thing's going on, I would leave. I would go, you know what? You sack Griffin, I'm out. And I know contracts are going to get involved and be an ugly situation, but who cares? But contracts mean absolutely nothing these days. How many players have we seen been contracted for another 2 or 3 years, but they just leave? Happens all the time.
Yeah, look, it's a controversial situation for sure.
I feel sorry for the fans.
Yeah, they're going through it real tough at the moment.
Dragons fans deserve better than this shit. They have been going through it for a while. They've only made the finals once since 2015. So like it's a pretty bad situation down there at Cogra and at Wollongong at the moment. So hopefully they turn it around. But I'll tell you what, if Griffin gets sacked, do you reckon Des Hasler will take over? Because that seems to be the rumour at the moment.
Well, it might happen. I mean, there's obviously him, there's Flanagan, there's Hornby, Riles, and a few other people in the running. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the Dragons do, I guess.
What about you, Fanatics? You reckon they'll go with Des if they get rid of Griffin?
Yeah, I mean, Dez is there. Obviously, you got other options as well. So yeah, I mean, I could possibly go with him.
Yeah, no, they could. All right. Topic number 1 and the final topic of the podcast. This weekend, we've got the Titans versus Broncos match. Would you guys consider this a rivalry, or is it just another game? I know a lot of people that consider this as a rivalry. Obviously, big brother versus little brother, and it's only an hour from each other. Or does it just seem like another game? I mean, Broncos fans don't really take the Titans that seriously, but the Titans fans take the Broncos very seriously. Since the Titans seem to be a bit more passionate about this rivalry than the Broncos. So that's the feel I get every time they play. What's your take on this one, ProEnzo? Do you reckon it's a rivalry, Titans and the Broncos?
Nah, it's not close to a rivalry. I don't think. I think it's more of a, I don't know, like a little derby, like a little brother versus big brother type talk. I think that's all it is. Bit of fun and games with how it's, I guess, put as. It's not a rivalry. There's no history really behind these two clubs that make it a really big game. There's been some competitive games, but I don't think there's anything other than just some, I don't know, some entertaining games at best, because there's nothing really making a rivalry. So, nowhere near a rivalry.
Wow. Big call. Fanatics, obviously you live on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
You probably hear about this game a lot when it comes up every year on the Gold Coast. Do you consider the Titans Broncos as a rivalry? You live on the Gold Coast. You would know better than both of us. Do you think it's a rivalry?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I personally think that the Titans Broncos is more of just a game in general, and I think the Cowboys Broncos is, for me, is probably more of the rivalry in terms of the Queensland sides put together. So no, not really. I don't think the Titans Broncos is really a rivalry, in my opinion. I just don't think it is.
Is that because of the Titans fans that don't go? Is it the Broncos fans? What's the reason behind it not being a rivalry for you?
Look, I don't think this game is really talked up as much. I don't think it is in the media. I think the only time it's been talked up is when it's on the week prior, so starting. So, I mean, just now the Gold Coast news, just the local news here. That's in the sport news. They talk about the Titans Broncos as a game coming up. So that's probably the only time you hear about it. Really, you don't really hear about it too much, and I think that's the only time you hear much about that game. So I don't think it's really that big in terms of a rivalry.
Yeah, look, I think there's a few things that make it a little bit of a rivalry. Obviously, you go back in the history of this matchup between these two sides. They played against each other in I think it was 2010 or 2009. It might have been 2000. I can't remember what year it was. But they played a finals game against each other. And I think the Broncos might have won. 2009, I think it was. Broncos played the Titans, I think. I'm just trying to remember. Was it the Warriors?
What, 2009?
Might have been 2010. What year did the Warriors make the finals? 09 or 2010?
Oh, 09, I think.
10, I think, against the Titans. Yeah, we played them, I think. So that was at Seabus. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them anyway. I think it was third against 6 or something.
Yep.
The Titans and the Broncos played each other, and the Broncos won. And the Titans got a second chance. I think they went out next week against Parramatta from memory. 2009, I think it was. And then in 2016, they played in the elimination final against each other on the Gold Coast, and the Broncos won that one. High scoring, like 40-28 or whatever the hell the score was. It was crazy. Yeah, there we go in the chat. 40-32 Broncos, yes. 2009, I believe it was. Broncos were 6th, Titans were 3rd, I think, or something like that. Anyway, or it might have been that way around. But Broncos and Titans. I mean, they've had two games against each other in the finals. They've had some good matches over the years. They've played 33 times, fellas. Broncos have won 23. Titans have won 10. So the Broncos are obviously very dominant. in the rivalry, if you call it that. Look, I can see the argument of a rivalry. It's little brother versus big brother. It's only an hour apart from each other. I think the Titans fans have more of a agenda against the Broncos. And when it comes to this game, the Titans fans are obviously a bit more into it. The Broncos just treat it as another game. They play, oh, yeah, have a Queensland side, yeah, no worries. I think the Broncos take it more serious against the Cowboys and the Dolphins, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, seems like that way, I think.
Like, I don't see Broncos fans go, oh, I can't wait till we destroy the Titans. We're going to injure them all. We're going to bash them. I don't think Broncos fans say that.
No, I haven't heard that ever, actually.
Like, even Josh, like, look, I'm going to the game on Saturday, so I will tell you if it's a rivalry or not on Saturday when I'm there. And I don't know what the crowd's going to look like on Saturday night, but if this Titans-Broncos game is a legitimate rivalry, there should be at least 20,000 there Saturday night.
Yeah, that's the pass mark for me, I reckon.
Think about it, boys. Think about it, right? Titans and Broncos. Titans are in 6th. Broncos are in 1st. Saturday night game on the Gold Coast. It's still the school holidays. Both sides are in the top 6 at the moment. It's round 7 of the NRL. Saturday night on the Gold Coast is a great night. If there isn't at least 20,000 at this game Saturday night, then for me, it ain't a rivalry.
Yeah, I don't think it's a rivalry either way, depending on the crowd numbers. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
It needs to sell out. Look, I'm going to go on the ticket tag and have a look anyway what the tickets are looking like for this game. But obviously, you've got what, Tino versus Payne Haas. Is that the only matchup that gets you excited for this game, or was there something else?
Yeah, it seems like it, or maybe Fafita versus Capewell. Is he playing?
Fafita versus the Broncos.
Or we can do that if you want. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ticket tag. Let's have a look how many tickets have been sold. Let me have a look. Hopefully they've sold a few. I mean, bugger me. I'm going to have a look. Ticket tag. Why is ticket tag not working? I would love to know what is happening. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, I'll tell you what. Here we go. So they've sold out the front line, the Tottenham part, or the premium part of the allocation. So they've already sold out 3 sections of the game. So I don't know if it will be sold out, but bugger me. I'm going to say it's not a rivalry, but I could change my mind Saturday when I'm there. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But, guys, that is the topics out of the way. It's time.
Oh, it's back. Bring it on, man.
The Breakdown Podcast Game Show. Everyone knows the rules, but once again, I will go over it quickly. If anybody in the live chat reveals the answers to the questions for the game show for ProEnzo and Boys NRL Fanatics, you will be banned for 5 minutes. If you decide to come back after your ban and reveal the answers again, you will be blocked. So do not reveal any answers in the live chat. Righto. Now, it's time to get the odds, thanks to NickBet. Let's have a quick look at the odds from NickBet, and here we go. ProEnzo Vidz is paying $2. Warriors paying $24. So,
mate, the pressure's all on me.
some big odds for Warriors NRL Fanatics. $24 odds Fanatics. Lorenzo's at 2 buckaroos. Very interesting odds.
Yeah, well.
Pressure on Lorenzo, though.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of pressure.
All right, here we go. So as you know, you guys can obviously interrupt each other with the questions. Obviously, ProEnzo, if you say something and you get it wrong, it's Fanatics' turn, and vice versa. If Fanatics says something and he gets it wrong, It's Lorenzo's turn. Righto. Gee, everyone in the chat's going for Fanatics. Shit.
Not surprised, eh?
Lorenzo's like this fucking villain.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
All right, let's go. Question number 1. Fellas, who is jersey 14 for the South Sydney Rabbitohs tomorrow night?
Havili.
That is incorrect. Fanatics.
Is it Havili?
No. Lorenzo just said that.
Mamuzelos.
Incorrect. Fanatics.
Haven't got a clue.
You've got no idea.
Is it
the squad?
Saluka Fafita?
No. Would you like a new question?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
The answer was Jed Cartwright.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I thought it was a different number.
All right, next question. Fellas, this weekend it's the Warriors versus the Cowboys. Who is jersey number 11 for the Cowboys this weekend?
Cohen, yes.
Correct.
Fuck, too quick.
Fanatics. Oh, yeah, Lorenzo.
Oh, well, good start. Credit.
Fanatics nailed that one. I thought he was going to say Nanine, but it's a trick question.
Oh, well.
All right, next question. Fellas, in round 7 of the NRL this weekend, it's the Sharks versus the Roosters. Who are the favourites in that game?
Roosters.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Correct. Well, the odds have changed a little bit, but the Roosters are still favourites. All right. 1-1. 1-1. My computer, I swear to God, it's so fucking slow. Nick, someone spoiled the answer. What? Who?
Or what question?
Where?
Which question?
I can't see it, bro. I can't see the spoiler.
Yeah, I can't see that either.
All
I
right.
didn't see anything.
I can't say anything either. All right, next question. Fellas, in the Titans versus Broncos game this weekend, who is jersey number 14 for the Broncos?
Corey Pakes.
Correct.
Yeah.
ProEnzo's got the lead. 2-1.
One more.
One more for ProEnzo and he's home. Come on, Fanatics. Make a game of it, will you?
Let's go.
All right. Next question. We'll make it a Warriors question. We'll see if ProEnzo can steal this one off Fanatics. Next question. In the Warriors versus Cowboys game this weekend, who is jersey number 18 for the Warriors?
Adam Pompey.
Dallin Batista, isn't it?
Correct.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, as expected.
Oh, it's game on. 2-2. Next question wins. All right.
Cool.
All right. We're going to get a really tough one here. Right. I think we've got it. Here we go. Fellas. Now, sorry. Fuck me. Phone's playing up. Sorry, boys. All right. Next question. This weekend, it's the Raiders versus the Dragons. What was the score between the Raiders and Dragons last time they played?
2016.
Incorrect. Fanatics.
26-12.
Incorrect. All right. I'm going to give you a spoiler. It was a 2-point game.
Oh.
32-30.
Someone in the chat just spoiled it. See you later, mate. Time out for 5 minutes. Can't be giving that away.
That's the same person last week that costed me. Remember?
Was it really?
I'm not. Yeah, anonymous. Fucking yeah.
All right. If he does it again, I'll block him. All right. Fuck, that shits me off, I tell you. All right, let's go to a new question. All right. Last time the Sharks and Roosters played, what was the score?
Roosters 36, Sharks 16.
Holy fuck!
Oh,
I thought it was. I thought so.
How the fuck did you nail that?
I remember it was a smashing. I didn't think it was the exact score, but I just remember it was a smashing.
You fucking nailed it, bro.
Oh, well,
Lorenzo's the winner. Fuck me.
It was lucky win, but yeah, wow.
How the fuck did you nail that? Jesus Christ, I'm shocked.
I wouldn't even know
That was a guess as well. That was a guess. So yeah.
I was gonna go like it was 36 Roosters. What score did the Sharks get? I can't believe you nailed that. Holy crap.
Yeah, I thought I was wrong for a minute there, but I just knew it was a smashing. That's all I knew.
All right, good job, Lorenzo, and good job, Fanatics. It was a good game.
Great game. Yep.
All right, now let's get into the NRL Round 7 preview. We'll just go over the games real quick. We'll give our tips for the weekend. I don't usually change my tips, but there's one game that I am really thinking about changing. All right, let's go. So what we'll do, we'll just go through the games, guys, and you guys can let me know who's going to win 1 to 12 or 13 plus. All right, so tomorrow night we've got the Dolphins versus the Rabbitohs. ProEnzo, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I reckon a Dolphins upset. Dolphins by 2, and anytime try scorer Hamiso Tabwai Fido.
No, he scores every fucking week. What's he paying to score this week? $1? Scores every
Probably,
week.
yeah.
What about you, Fanatics? Dolphins and the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs, actually. I'm going to go them by probably, I'll say 6 points. Yeah, I'll go Rabbits by 6. And anytime try score, I'll go Alex Johnston to score.
I'll go the Rabbitohs 1 to 12. I think it'll be a really tight game tomorrow night. Souths to win in a close one. Friday night footy. The first game at 6 p.m. I think it's the game of the weekend, fellas. We've got the Sharks versus the Roosters. I think this is the game of the round personally, but we'll have to wait and see. ProEnzo, Sharks, Roosters, this should be a cracker.
Yeah, it'd be a great game. I reckon the Roosters, though, by 6 points, and I reckon first try scorer Daniel Tupou.
Yeah, nice one. What about you, Fanatics? Sharks, Roosters?
I'm actually going to go with an upset here. I'm going to go with the Sharks at home. Sharks by 4.
I'm going to go the Roosters in a real tight one. I'll go the Roosters 1 to 12. Should be a great game there Friday night. The other game Friday night, the 8 o'clock game out of Brookie, we've got Manly versus Melbourne. ProEnzo Vidz will be there. I'm looking forward to seeing the vlog. Hopefully you don't have to leave at half time again, but
Yeah.
Manly, Melbourne, ProEnzo. What do you reckon?
Oh, look, it hurts me backing against the boys here.
You're not, are you? You're not,
Yeah,
surely not.
I am. Yeah, I am. I don't know if I can trust us against a big side. So, unfortunately, Melbourne here by 10, and I reckon Will Warbrick to score any time.
I can't believe you're going against your own team. What is this?
Neither do I, bro, but I don't know.
I thought you were a part of the Back to Boys Club. What is this?
Unfortunately, that deal's broken for this week, I'd say.
Oh, no. All right. Fanatics?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne by 12.
I picked Melbourne by 12 in my tipping video, but I'm going to go Melbourne to win by 26 points.
Fair enough.
Manly look, I don't know, bro. I know they had the draw the other week, but they just look burned out at the moment. They've lost their stamina. I don't know what's going on. I think Melbourne win really well Friday night, but for your sake, Lorenzo, I hope Manly win for you at home.
Yeah, all you can do is hope, so let's hope so.
Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock over at Massmart Stadium in New Zealand. We've got the Warriors versus the Cowboys. We've got the NFA Fanatics Cup. It's going to be fantastic. Fanatics, Warriors and Cowboys. We all know you're going to back the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm backing the boys in here, backing the Warriors, backing them by 4 points. I think it'd be close. So I'll go Warriors by 4.
Yeah.
It's a close game. Should be really tight, I reckon. But I think with Nanai and Tamangi back, I think Cowboys are going to realise that they need to play good footy to be back up there again. I think they'll win just because I think Egan and Murray Martin are huge blows for the Warriors, their spine especially. So I just think there's that feeling that Warriors will fall short here. So I reckon the Cowboys by 4, and anytime I reckon Nanai.
Yeah, obviously I'll back the Cowboys in 1-12. Should be a great game there on Sunday, Arvo. Next game, I think this next game will leave it pretty short and sweet. Knights and Panthers, 5:30 at McDonald Jones Stadium. Panthers 13 plus for me. ProEnzo.
Yeah, Panthers 13 plus, and wouldn't shock me to go double.
Yeah, Fanatics, Knights, Panthers.
Panthers easily 13 plus. They'll get a big win.
Newcastle been competitive lately, but they won't be winning this one. Saturday night, 7:30 up on the Gold Coast, CBA Super Stadium. I'll be at this game doing a match day vlog. Titans, Broncos, ProEnzo.
I reckon Broncos 13 plus. I reckon, and I think first try score. Actually, any time I meant. I reckon Jesse Arthurs.
Fanatics.
Yeah, I've gone with the Broncos by 10 for me.
I'm going to Broncos 13 plus as well, but not a big 13 plus, just 13 plus. And before we get to the next game, Nick Green in the chat, $20 super chat. Shit!
Not bad.
Wow.
$20 super chat. Did not expect that at all. Nick Green, thank you for the $20 super chat. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. You've got PayPal, you've got super chat, and there is Pay ID available as well. So thank you for that. Just quickly on the donations. When you donate, guys, I would prefer PayPal or Pay ID. Pay ID is probably the easiest. The email is in the description. You just go into your phone, Pay ID, nick4668@gmail.com, and that's how you do it. It's pretty easy. If you have Pay ID set up, you can do it on for your bank easily. So thank you guys for that. $20 super chat is outstanding. Shout out to you, Nick Green. So anyway, we're all going the Broncos there. Sunday 2 o'clock game, Raiders Dragons. I'm thinking about changing to the Raiders, but I don't know yet. What do you reckon, ProEnzo?
I think the Raiders will win back at home after that confidence they'll get from that win against the Broncos. So I reckon Raiders here by, let's go, 8 points. And I think Albert Hopewadi will score a try.
About you, Fanatics? Canberra and St. George in Canberra.
Yeah, I think Canberra will take the confidence out of beating Brisbane last week. So I think they'll carry it on here into Canberra at their home venue. So I'll go the Raiders by 2.
Oh, I'm tempted to change, but I'm going to stick with the Dragons 1-12. I think they can win, but it'll be close. It'll be a close one. Dragons 1-12. And the final game of the weekend, the second biggest rivalry in the NRL, 4 o'clock on Sunday at CommBank. Parramatta versus Canterbury. This should be a great game, ProEnzo.
Huge game. It's a rivalry game, so it should be massive. And this does not get talked about enough as a rivalry, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just got this weird feeling that the Dogs will get them here. I reckon the Bulldogs are going to win 1-12. I just think that Marnie against his old club will be out for a big performance, and I think he'll get man of the match as well. I reckon he'll score a try as well. So Dogs 1-12.
About you, Fanatics?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Parramatta, but look, I'm not really convinced with Parramatta at the moment. But in saying that, I think they will get the win here. So I'll go with them by 8 points for me. Yeah, and a close one.
I'll go the Bulldogs 1-12. I think the Bulldogs can win on Sunday. Parramatta haven't been convincing enough for me, so I will go the Bulldogs. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up episode 82 of the Rugby League Breakdown podcast. Big thank you to you, Fanatics, for coming on the podcast at such short notice. Bro, thanks for coming on. It's been a great show.
Yeah, and it's great to be on the show, and I really enjoy being on, and looking forward to the footy this week, and go the Warriors this week as well. So thanks for having me on.
All the best on Saturday, bro. And ProEnzo, once again, it's been a great show, mate. You're a fantastic co-host, mate. So it's good to have you on as always.
Yeah, no, beautiful episode. It's been great, and good to have Fanatics on yet again. And yeah, no, it was a good episode, and I'm looking forward to the footy as well this weekend.
Yeah, and thank you all to the live chat. It's been a great show. Thanks for watching the podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of ProEnzo, Vidz, and Warriors NRL Fanatics if you haven't already. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the podcast. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, and we will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, have a good night.
Go Manly.